C.J. Malone is suing news director Don Jarek in the amount of $1,000. He says the defendant prevented him from shooting a local commercial, causing him to lose income as a result. Mr. Jarek claims he has jurisdiction over his TV personalities and their public image.
In the matter of C.J. Malone versus Don Jarek, you're suing Mr. Jarek because he prevented you from making a commercial. And according to you, you lost $1,000.
I lost $1,000.
So what happened, Mr. Malone?
Well, first of all, I'm not just CJ. I am CJ Malone. Have you ever heard of the Malone Zone? That's what everybody knows me for. I'm a sportscaster.
Okay.
Well, I was working for this idiot over here. He, through a coworker, I found out that a newscasting company called in to Channel 38 and offered me a position to do a national-wide commercial. He, on the other hand, turns around and says, no, you cannot take the job. I didn't even get a chance to talk to the agency. So he makes this decision for me, therefore putting a dent in my career, putting me in a position to where now I have to look for other things.
What did you do for him?
I was a sports anchor for him for 2 years.
So you're a sports anchor on a television station.
Correct.
Okay. Are you under contract?
And I was number one. I was number one for the 2 years that I was there.
Oh, you're no longer there?
I'm no longer there, no.
Oh. But you're only suing for the $1,000 because you didn't get to do the commercial.
Exactly.
When was the commercial supposed to when were you supposed to shoot the commercial?
I was supposed to shoot the commercial in February.
And were you working then?
Yes, I was working.
And how many days would it take you to shoot?
1 day.
1 day? All right. So you're really upset about this, huh?
Oh, I'm upset. I mean, like I said, he put a dent in my career. This was a national television commercial that I could have had and put under my belt. And thanks to this idiot, once again, I can't do that.
Hold on. Calm down a little bit. Calm down. Bring it down just a little bit. And we're not going to name call. We're not going to do that.
Okay.
His name is Mr. Jarek, or the defendant, but not any other words, okay?
I got you.
I see you have a witness there, Ms. Lane, because you said you heard through someone else that an agent called to get you to do this commercial. So a lot of that is hearsay. And you didn't talk to the agent. Did you talk to the agent?
I did a little research myself, looked on the internet, looked through the internet and found the company's name, so I was able to get and speak directly to Rebecca here.
Oh, so Ms. Lane represents the agency.
Correct.
All right, step forward, Ms. Lane. And what do you have to say?
My name is Rebecca Lane. I'm a casting associate for Empire Skies Production. I contacted Mr. John Derrick, and I was trying to get a hold of C.J. Malone, trying to do a fast food national commercial. Immediately, Mr. Jarek told me no, his client was not available. And I asked him...
Did he say his client or his anchor?
He said his client.
Okay.
And I asked him, what is their contract? Is there any way that we can work something out? And he said he's an independent
Why would you call Mr. Jarek instead of Mr. Malone?
Because I had no way of immediately talking to him.
If you knew Mr. Malone worked for Mr. Jarek, why couldn't you call the station and leave a message for Mr. Malone to call you?
That's what I asked, but unfortunately, he told me that he was in charge of his career and that he was not able, he being Mr. Malone, was not able.
You need to be quiet so I can hear her. Her voice is very soft, and I really have to hear her. So now, what did you say it again?
Mr. Jarek told me that Mr. Malone was not able to, he wasn't able to give me his cell phone number, his email. I could not contact him directly. And I did not understand this, being
You
Mr.
said
Malone.
Mr. Jarek said he's in charge of his career?
And I asked him, isn't he an independent contractor? And he said yes. Mr. Malone is a grown adult, and I do believe that he had the choice of saying yes or no if he would like to do this national commercial.
Well, what I'm having difficulty understanding is in the age of computers, Facebook, social media, Twitter, and all those other ways, Wikipedia, and this, and that, and he's a national newscaster, news anchor, and he says he's well known as the Malone what?
The Malone Zone.
The Malone Zone. So he has a name, he has a likeness, he has an image. You couldn't find Mr. Malone?
Eventually, through social networking, I did find him, and I contacted him. But that was well after he already contacted me.
Yeah, but I can't believe that you couldn't find Mr. Malone if you found Mr. Jarek.
Well, that was the head of what he said that he was in charge of his career. So I thought that maybe we can work something out responsibly, but apparently Mr. Jarek had others in mind.
All right.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Mabelean.
What is the understanding then when you hire these persons?
The understanding is that they will come to work every day.
Justice with Judge Mabelean. We're back with the case of C.J. Malone, who is suing Don Jarek for loss of wages.
Do you have a web page since you're the Malone Zone?
I have a web page, yes I do.
And you've had a web page a couple of years at least?
Well, about a year and a half, yes.
You had a web page during this time?
Yes.
Okay. Have a seat, Miss Lane. Mr. Jarek, let me hear from you.
Your Honor, I did receive a phone call from the casting agent over there.
And what is your position at Channel 38?
I'm general manager. We're a small station based in upstate, where typically...
Upstate New York?
Upstate New York.
Okay.
Typically, people come to us for a year or two when they're right out of college, where they're looking to build their business a little bit. And then they move on. We don't pay them a whole lot of money, and we're used to dealing with young, dumb kids.
She just said no name calling.
Okay.
Now look what he's doing to me.
No. He did not call you a name. He says that is what his station deals with, and I don't think you should call him dumb, because why would you want somebody working for you that's dumb?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
So he's your sports anchor person?
Right.
All right. Now,
Was, Your Honor.
understand, and you don't pay them much.
We don't pay them much, Your Honor.
Okay. So then, since you don't pay them much, they're young, fresh out of college, is there a contract of any kind?
There's no contract.
What is the understanding then when you hire these persons?
The understanding is that they will come to work every day and do their job.
Well, a contract can be oral or in writing. So you had to give them some type of stipulation if you're hiring an employee.
We said you have to be there every day to do your job.
Your Honor, I
Did
didn't
they work
sign
certain hours?
anything.
Be
I didn't
quiet,
sign
be
nothing.
quiet, Mr. Malone. Now you got the Malone zone. This is now the Judge Mabelean zone. Okay? All right. So they have certain hours that he would work per day.
Right. Typically.
And did he work 5 days a week?
He worked 5 days a week and did specials on weekends.
Okay. And I guess the sports time was was it morning, evening, afternoon?
There are two broadcasts. One is at 5 p.m., the second one's at 10. His work day starts at 10 a.m. with a pre-production meeting, and then that leads into the two shows.
So he's at from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
All day to do two shows?
They're delighted. It's
What
the
is he
only,
doing
it's
in
the only way
between?
that they can build their career. What they're looking for is...
So you're telling me these kids, young people, work 12-hour days?
Well, that's pretty normal in our business.
Okay, now he's not so young, because we're only talking a couple years ago, right?
Well, he just
He
graduated...
doesn't look like a person fresh out of college to me.
Maybe his resume was falsified.
Oh.
So were you fresh out of college?
But
Can you believe this?
Were you fresh out of college? Because you could have gone and gotten a late start. Who knows? Were you fresh out of college?
I got a little late start, yeah.
Okay, so you were an inexperienced broadcaster when you went to the station.
At the time, yes.
All right. The point is inexperienced, not necessarily young, but fresh out of college.
In Your Honor, when I did receive a phone call from the casting agent,
Okay,
and she said that this event would happen during the month of February.
all right.
For us, that's a critical month, because during the month of February, we're measured by the number of people that watch our station.
You mean sweeps?
Sweep, that's right. And that drives our advertising revenue.
Coming up,
Okay.
That would have had a severe negative impact, or maybe it would have helped during
It would have had a
Sweeps Week.
severe negative impact on you.
Yes.
Justice with Judge. We're back with the case of C.J. Malone, who is suing Don Jarek for loss of wages.
Okay, but the lady called for Mr. Malone, not Mr. Jarek.
Correct.
And she wanted Mr. Malone's services, not Mr. Jarek's.
Well,
Did she ask for your service or Mr. Malone?
she called the receptionist, Your Honor. The receptionist
To
said...
inquire about...
The receptionist said that he was not available, I was.
Okay.
So she was put through to me.
And when she was put through to you, she told you exactly what she wanted. Mr. Malone to do a commercial.
She said that this would be during the month of February.
Did she say she wanted Mr. Malone to do a commercial?
Yes, she did.
Okay, so Are you Mr. Malone's agent?
No, but I am his boss.
But you can't control what he does 24/7. He may have wanted to quit your job. He may have thought, this is more important enough to me that I'll just quit this job that has no contract, offers me no guarantees, is a jump start. Maybe this is a better jump start.
Maybe, but at that point, he was still employed by us.
And he can quit at any time, right?
He can quit at any time.
And just like you can terminate him at any time.
We can terminate it at any
So
time.
New York is an at-will employee state. You terminate at will, the employee leaves at will.
Correct.
Right or wrong?
Right.
When she told you that she wanted him to do the contract in February, you took it upon yourself to say he was not available during that time.
That's correct. The reason, Your Honor, is that he would not have been present for 4 days, according to the casting agent.
4 days?
4 days.
1 day, Your
One
Honor.
for audition, 3 for the shoot, during the month of February.
Okay.
That would have had a severe negative impact, or maybe it would have helped during
It would have had a
Sweeps Week
severe negative impact on you.
on our station.
So you think?
Yes.
Well, he's a national figure. He works for you. You're a small regional
We're
network.
a tiny little station.
Okay, but if he would have done a national commercial,
was a local
you don't think that
commercial.
it might have helped and boost your image?
Your Honor, if you
Yes.
don't show up for work, what happens?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you.
You got to be there every day.
So let me ask you this.
No matter what.
I went to your job
Mother
right
dies,
there. I was
You
working.
got to be
Be
there.
quiet, both of you, Mr. Jarrett. Let me ask you this. If he had said, I quit tomorrow, what would you have done?
Say thank you very much. It was nice having you.
Okay, so
Shake
this
his hand.
man is not your chattel.
But he didn't quit.
Did you ever tell him that this offer had come through?
No.
Now, what if he decided to quit doing sweeps? What would you do?
On the other hand, he found out the same day.
Okay, but if he were to have quit doing sweeps, what would you do?
We would have done exactly what we did.
What's that?
We would have parted ways and replaced him with another broadcaster.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Coming up,
So she told me that it was pretty much over. I
She
didn't
told
even
you it
have-
was too late?
She told me it was too late.
we're back with the case of C.J. Malone, who is suing Don Jarrett for loss of wages.
You found out the same day?
I found out the same day.
And then what happened?
I kind of waited for a few hours and I was kind of just in shock,
Did you contact the agency, Miss Malone?
That night I started research on the company that
Why
called.
did you have to research? She had called.
Well, that was the problem. That when I got the number from the coworker, I wanted to research them first before I actually made a call.
How long did it take you to research the company?
I would say I called about 10, then I found the company about 10:30 that night, and then I called the next morning.
And what happened?
I was able to get in touch with Rebecca.
And what did she say?
She said that, yes, I offered you the position for the national commercial. So she told me that it was pretty much over. I
She told you it was too late?
She told me it was too late.
Okay, Miss Lane, stand back up here. If you called today, you weren't shooting the commercial tomorrow, were you?
No, but I immediately found other clients.
When did you did what?
I immediately found other talent.
You immediately found other talent?
Yes.
When were you going to shoot the commercial?
Within the next week.
Within a week?
Yes.
Okay.
And it would only take 1 day and it would take 5 hours. I told Mr. Jarrett that I did not need Mr. Malone to do an audition because I seen his God-given talent immediately when I see him on the TV while I was in the
You
hotel.
searched him out because of what you had seen.
I didn't even need to search it. It immediately came to me, but the number that popped up was Mr. Jarrett's, and I was unable to get in contact with Mr. Malone. It would have been a pleasure to have him with
And the
national
commercial was paying $1,000?
$1,000 cash, $500 before the shoot, and then the other $500 afterwards.
And that was it, total? No back ends?
No back ends, but he had the opportunity to continue to work with our agency, Empire Skate Production.
Okay.
Judge Mabelean's verdict when justice with Judge Mabelean returns.
We're in a society that right now is free labor.
Your Honor, this is...
I am talking now. I heard you. I understand sweeps. I understand the importance of ratings.
Your Honor,
I understand the importance of advertising dollars.
Your Honor, I received a phone call from somebody I've never heard of before.
Okay, now
I would never release personal information to anybody.
I didn't ask you to release personal information.
But she was asking me
and
to.
No.
She was.
She asked you to get in touch with Mr. Malone, and you said he wasn't available when she told you exactly what she wanted him for. Here is what I am upset with you. You made a decision that Mr. Malone was not available. Instead of telling Mr. Malone, a person called the office today. Her name is Rebecca Lane. She would like for you to do a commercial or audition for a commercial or whatever. Here is the phone number. Call her if you're interested.
That would hurt us.
That's my point exactly. So what? It would have hurt you. You don't have the right to stop someone from taking a job elsewhere if they want one. Like I was saying before, and do not interrupt me this time. And you let me finish my analogy. It sounded very much like slavery days. When the other slave owners who came to you, or people who look like you, said, I want your boy to do X, Y, and Z, and you say he's not available, or this is the price you have.
I'm offended by that.
I'm
offended by that.
Be offended. I'm offended by what you did.
To the bar for that.
You can report me to
That's
whoever.
That's disgusting to say that in today's world.
No, it's disgusting what you did, because you said he's an at-will employee. And he has the right to walk out of your job whenever he gets ready. He's a grown man. Let him understand that if I go work for this person and get $1,000 a day, and I take a risk of leaving my news anchor job, which is paying me more, and this is only for one time, and Mr. Jarrett may fire me, and then I'll lose $10,000. That's the analogy, and that's the analysis he has to make, not you. You were concerned about your business, how it would hurt you if Mr. Malone was not there doing sweeps, doing your sports anchor. Your advertising dollars would go down and your ratings would go down. It was totally selfish. You did an analysis based upon what was best for your company. Give him the same right to do an analysis based upon what's best for his life. You don't make those decisions. Don't play God with his life.
Your Honor.
You're out of my foot.
He testified.
Judgment for the plaintiff. Get out of my court.
Judge Mabelean has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $1,000.
You know, you messed up a big opportunity for me.
Good riddance.